Sometimes I start to think and my sins catch up to me and I start to cry. Not really cry, but feel sad. I repeat the words, forgive me, Lord, and then I feel sad. So I stop it. I use a Tony Robbins technique and I say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. For many things, because one of them, He forgave me before I was born. He knew I would exist and He knew that I would make my sins. God is all knowing. And now that I am aware of my sins, like tonight I had a dream about my ex-wife and my ex-stepdaughter, and there was a plant. In the dream, the plant is removed and there is only the base of the plant. Not the base, but the actual pot that it was in. And the daughter says, look what we have discovered. And in it are three shadows at the base of the plant. Firestar, myself, and Carla. Look what we have found. Of course, the thought that comes to mind is the ex-wife saying, one day, Daniel, you will know that I loved you, or that I love you. I'm not sure which way she said it. One day you will know how much I loved you, I think she said. Well, until I get a job, I'm not allowed to call her. She said, don't call me. So I won't. Besides, I don't have a phone, and I did throw away her phone number when she said that. Sometimes, many times, I know that ex-husbands and wives, they think about each other. They remember the cruel things that one did to the other. She told me not to bring any books into her house. And so I was so young and immature, and so I threw away my photo albums. And then one day she said, you don't have any albums, Daniel? And I told her, you told me not to bring any books, so I threw them away. And I wasn't being mean or anything, that I had just done that. I was homeless, and I did have that suitcase though. And so I just threw them into I asked myself, who would care about my photos? And I put them inside a garbage can. And at that moment, another lady showed up, and I did have the books that I was going to read to my children. There were stories like Snow White, and Donald Duck, and other stories like that. And there were little books, about 4 inches tall or 3 inches tall, and they had these stories. And I had about 4, 6, 4, 10, 8, 12, maybe 12 of them. And another mom showed up, and I was about to throw them away, but then when she showed up, I said, Miss, may I give them to you? And she said, wow, they're so beautiful, and she accepted them. Well, of course, life has its ups and downs, and now I have my own son, and I do have a daughter, but she's still disrespectful. I do forgive her. She's the prodigal daughter. She hasn't gone anywhere. She's here. What happens is I went to jail for her, so that's why I don't talk to her anymore. If she wants to watch 10 hours of TV or 20 hours, I don't say anything. I just keep away from her because I'm not going to go to jail again for correcting her. And the wife, until she reads that Bible, she's going to stay very ignorant. She will be like Daniel. She will discover what Daniel wanted. Perhaps when Daniel is dead, or maybe when she meets with Jesus and God and so on. Maybe God will point out to her her errors. I mean, I have plenty of them, plenty of sins. Each time I go to these Jehovah Witnesses things, they read about the Bible and they go from verse to verse to verse to verse. And I start thinking,